Okay, so you're in class, and your professor walks up and he says, "Okay, I'm going to give you the final exam today, and if you pass it, you're good." But it's a really complicated class, and you're thinking to yourself, "No, no, 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 don't do that to me." And so what you'd rather do, and a good professor will start you off really light, and they'll work you in to the study so that at the end of the semester you have a greater success of passing the final exam. That's what happens. Wouldn't that be nice if you could do that also with your mortgage? And it turns out you can. If you stick around, I'll show you how. Okay, so in this particular video, we're going to do something. We're going to build an amortization table for a graduated payment mortgage. This particular mortgage is different than your constant payment mortgage that you're used to for maybe your home or for maybe a building that you bought, in a normal commercial building. This one has a very special usage, and you'll discover that as we begin to build the table. Now, this table is incredibly complicated, so do not worry if you have to stop the video and go back and keep on doing it. And don't worry if you make mistakes. I made a lot of them too. It's a very complicated table to put together. Now, we're not going to go into this video about the really deep details about graduated payment mortgages. We'll do that for other videos. All right. Now, other thing too is I made this video as a kind of short one. There are more comprehensive videos down below in the links that you can look at. That'll help you out quite a bit. I suggest you go down there and look. If you get a chance to watch them, great. I think you'll learn a lot out of it. All right. Now, I hope you like this video. And if you do, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the bell notification so you get more videos as they come out. All right. Enjoy.
Now, I did change up the format a little bit different so it doesn't confuse you from the previous episodes. We're still keeping the same value of the property at $2 million, loan to value ratio 8%, and the loan amount of $1.6 million. That's the same. Same as the interest rate. It's 4.06% over a 30-year mortgage this time rather than a 20. Then we're going to have now the graduated payment mortgages. The way they work is they reset every so often. In this case, it's 5 years. And then there's the incremental cost of that capital, which is 18%, which is the unique characterization or character of a graduated payment mortgage. You actually get to see what the incremental cost is of that capital. But it has a very unique cash flow footprint. We're going to see that here in a second. But first, let's go ahead and build the amortization table. Now, bear with me. It's very complicated. So like I said, if you get to a point where it's getting ahead of you, just stop the recording and make sure you get the formulas in correctly. The very first thing we have to do, though, is we have to figure out our initial payment. And this is pretty complicated. So let's go ahead and get started here. Here we go. We're going to start right here in our formula. We're going to figure out our payment. Okay. So we're going to put a 1 here, hit enter. And on this one, we're going to have to put a formula in. So we're going to be equals to, and this is where it's important to keep up with the parentheses, 1 plus, we're going to go up here and we're going to go, okay, B10 is our incremental amount. We need to freeze that, and everybody's computer is a little bit different. You'll know it's frozen because you'll see the two dollar signs in there, one for the column and one for the row. Some computers, it's actually function F4, others is shift, and others could be control F4. You just have to decide what it is on your computer. We're going to close this parentheses. We're going to raise it to the power, okay? Put another parentheses in, and we're going to go here to B23, raise it to that one, -1, okay? Hit enter. All right. You'll know it's correct because it's higher than the 1 in front of it, all right? We're going to grab it and drag it down to 5, and each one of these should incrementally go higher. All right. Now, the next one we're going to do is from year 6 all the way to 30. So let's take a look at that. So again, we're going to equal sign, parentheses, 1 plus B10. Freeze it. Close it. Raise it to the power. This time we're going to do it as 6 minus 1 and hit enter. Okay. Next thing we got to do is figure out our monthly present value of an interest factor of an annuity. And I'm not going to go into the definition of that tonight. We're going to tie all that up in episode 7 in a nice, pretty bow for you. But just suffice that we need to calculate it. We're also going to need to do the same thing just for the interest factor. All right. But right now, let's do it this way. All right. So here we go. It's going to be equal the present value, parentheses. You're going to have the rate, which is right here. We're going to freeze it. We're going to divide it by 12 because it's monthly. We're going to put a comma there. We're going to go, it's 12 months. We're going to be looking at the future value of $1, and we're going to close that. We're also going to multiply it by a -1 and hit enter. There we go. Now we're going to drag this all the way down. All the way down. I'm sorry. You go up 1. There we go. Now at 6, we're a little bit different. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to go PV. And we're going to do here, our rate, freeze it, divided by 12. The comma in there. Now here's where we're going to do something different. We're going to put a bracket there. We're going to multiply 25 times 12 because that's what we have a remainder in the note. We're going to put a comma in, and of course it's still at $1. Close the parentheses times -1. Hit enter. All right. Next, we're going to use the monthly present value of an interest factor. So let's go ahead and do that. We've got equals to 1. Do that there. And here, now pay a real close attention because this formula is very different. All right, so we're going to have our parentheses. We're going to have a 1 divided by parentheses 1 plus parentheses our B8, freeze the frame, or freeze the cell. All right, divided by 12. Close the brackets twice or it won't let you do it. To the power of B22 times 12. Close the parentheses and close it again. All right, if everything went right, it'll go right, and it did. All right, so this one should actually decline. It should go down a number. So here we're going to go all the way down here. Drag it all at the bottom. All righty. Now this one's rather simple. It's just literally column 2 times column 3 times column 4, just like it says in the formula. Okay, you got that one, and you're going to drag it all the way to the bottom. Right there. And that changes our factor. So this now produces our initial payment. All right. Now let's come down here and actually do the amortization table. And again, like we've done in the past, you hit enter, enter, and then just come up here and grab it. Grab the handle. And follow it all the way down. It's not very forgiving, so you got to make sure that you're careful here. There's 360 payments. All right. Let's get over here, go back up to the top. Wind it way up to the top. Okay. We're going to equal it to our payment, which is what we figured out right here. Hit enter. All right. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to say equal to here. Hit enter. And we're going to come back and we're going to drag it all the way down to 12. We should get our number. All right. Now, if you notice, I put these little cheat marks in here so that you can see where your factor is going to change. All right, so that's your end of year. So when we go to make our payment this time, okay, we're going to come along here. We're going to go equal to this one right here, this cell, B51, freeze it, okay, and we're going to multiply it by parentheses of 1 plus B10, freeze it. Okay. Close the parentheses and hit enter. All right. Now here's the cool thing. We're going to take that one and we're going to drag it all the way down. I'm going to show you how to cheat here a little bit. Drag that all the way down to the bottom. Don't worry. It'll copy it all the way the same all the way down. We're going to go all the way back up here to the top and watch what happens. All righty. So now we're going to come down here to 25. Okay. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at that number. Just come up here and change this real quick to 63 and hit enter and drag it all the way down. All right, and then come down here. And this is a nifty little way to get past your always having to redo this formula. Good time-saving technique. Okay, and then hit that, double click it. All right. Come down here to this one, okay? Okay, and we're going to hit, going to be 87. That's the cell we're looking at. It's always the preceding cell. Okay, there it is. Double click it. Okay, come down here to 5. And here we go. We're going to hit 90. 90. Hit enter. Double click it. And there it goes. All right. So now we're done with creating this payment plan, right? Get all the way to the bottom. Click out of it real quick so we don't accidentally change something. Now, the interest payment. Here we go. So here's where we're going to go. Equal to, we're going to have to go positive because these numbers can go negative. So we're going to make sure we're going to force it positive. We're going to go put our interest rate in. We're going to freeze it, of course, and divide it by 12. And then we're going to multiply it by E39, which is right here. All right. This is where our balance is on our note. Hit enter. Okay. And then what we're going to have is our principal. We're going to figure out our principal, which is also going to be, we're going to force it. We're going to go B40 right there. Okay. Minus C40 right there. Hit enter. And it went negative on us. I did that on purpose. All right. And our balance is going to be equal to, force it to be positive. We're going to force the positive. We're going to go E, which is right above us, minus D40. Hit enter. Okay. Okay, that should not have worked like that. Let's go back here real quick. Did we get it right? Oh, that's the reason why. 40. Ta-da! That's how I know it's right. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go here, and we're going to double click it, and it should have done it all the way to the bottom. How do you know it's complete? It's because if you go all the way to the bottom, you should see a 0 in your payment. So we go all the way bottom, confirm it. We go all the way bottom. We should see it fully amortized, and we did. So we know it's right.
All right. So you had a chance to build this table. It was tough, wasn't it? It was a hard table to put together. But some of the things that you should have picked up on and the key takeaways was how that charted out. If you looked at those two charts on there, you saw that the payments were like a stair step. They kept going up. And if you take a look at the amortization of it, depending on the growth rate of that payment, it could give you negative amortization if you're not careful. So you have to design these really well. All right. So another thing you also want to design is the fees. Saw the fees in there. They were different. Okay. But they have structure. A graduated payment mortgage has a purpose. And like lots of other mortgages out there, they are a tool to get the job done. So the perfect place for a graduated payment mortgage is for something like a development project where you're needing to lease up. You don't have tenants in yet, but you're looking forward to leasing things up. You want to match your cash flows to your mortgage. And as you recall, I think we talked about it a couple other times in some other videos. I kept alluding to a video called The Nature of Finance. If you had a chance to watch that, it's down. Get a playlist in there. I think I put a link down in the description as well for it. But in that video, we talk about the three concepts or the three things that are important to finance. And that's the magnitude of cash flow, timing of cash flow, and risk of cash flow. And in this particular case, the magnitude of cash flow is really small, and over time it grows. And of course, because it's over time, the risk is higher, so your payments are higher. So it makes a lot of sense on that. So hope you enjoyed the video. On the end of this video, I'm going to put an end card up with the next suggested videos for you. All right. Thank you.